On November 27th and 28th, 2025 in Victoria Island, Lagos, the Civic Center became home to a landmark event. The Nigerian Institute of Chartered Arbitrators came together for its 2025 Annual Conference and Investiture, a hybrid gathering of arbitration professionals, legal minds, corporate counsel, policymakers, and ADR advocates. This was more than a conference. It was a celebration of commitment to justice, alternative dispute resolution, and institutional arbitration in Africa. The theme of the conference, Strengthening Institutional Arbitration and ADR in Africa, Charting a New Path. At a time when Africa's legal and business landscapes are evolving rapidly, the gathering aimed to deepen ADR capacity, standardize institutional arbitration, and prepare practitioners in Nigeria and across Africa for future challenges. Over 2 days, the conference brought together arbitrators, mediators, senior lawyers, corporate counsel, judges, academics, and ADR stakeholders from across West Africa and beyond.
I recognize the presence of our indefatigable chairman and president of the Institute, and also indeed the Nigerian Bar Association, who is still present, and distinguished sales, distinguished senior practitioners, fellows, mediators, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me the greatest pleasure to have been foisted with this onerous task of moderating the first plenary session on the topic Strengthening Institutional Arbitration and ADR in Africa, Charting a New Path. However, we have the task of finding how best to strengthen the practice of arbitration and ADR in order to observe best international practices and to ensure that Nigeria and Africa remains and continues to remain a much desired hub for the resolution of disputes, be it international or domestic. Part of the topic asks us to find a way of charting a new path. And that is because, despite the tremendous progress that has been made so far, there are rumors or murmurings of things that can be done better. What I say in that regard is that there's still room for improvement.
Through keynote addresses, panel sessions, interactive workshops, and networking moments, participants exchanged ideas, insights, and best practices. The atmosphere was one of urgency, hope, and professionalism. The conference's core, expert-led panels, and intensive dialogue on arbitration law, institutional ADR frameworks, and the future of dispute resolution on the continent. Discussions covered arbitration standardization, mediation, capacity building, ethical standards, and how Nigeria and Africa can build robust legal institutions and ADR practices that reflect global best practices while rooted in local realities. Beyond formal sessions, the conference offered a platform for connection. Lawyers, ADR practitioners, corporate counsel, and young professionals mingled, exchanged contacts, shared experiences, building a network of arbitrators and mediators committed to alternative dispute resolution. It was a reaffirmation that real progress in ADR comes not only from policies or laws, but people willing to uphold integrity, professionalism, and fairness. A highlight of the event was the investiture, the formal induction and recognition of new chartered arbitrators under NICArb. This moment celebrated those ready to uphold ADR standards, to arbitrate fairly, and to contribute to institutional arbitration across the continent. It was also a day of honor, a reminder that arbitration is not just a profession, but a responsibility, not just a career, but a calling. As the 2-day conference concluded, participants left with renewed purpose. Armed with fresh ideas, stronger networks, and a shared vision, they committed to strengthening ADR, institutional arbitration, and alternative dispute resolution in Nigeria and Africa. In a world of evolving legal challenges, growing commercial disputes, and increasing cross-border transactions, the work of NICArb matters now more than ever. This was the NICArb 2025 Annual Conference and Investiture, a gathering of minds, a forging of alliances, and a call to action. Arbitration, ADR, justice, they matter. For businesses, for individuals, for nations. If you believe in fair resolution, in professionalism, in the power of dialogue, then join the movement.